The primary LRUs in the JetWave SATCOM system are the ModMan, the CANDO, the KRFU, and the antenna. The ModMan provides the following functions and interfaces. Main control of the system. This is where the ModMan main control processor, hardware, and operational software reside for the system. The ModMan's byte memory stores failure status and information for itself and for the CANDO, KRFU, and for the TMA and FMA versions of the antenna. The ModMan also contains user interfaces to the aircraft, flight crew, and passengers as follows. The passenger-owned device domain interfaces provide service to the passengers through the use of Ethernet. The passenger information and entertainment services domain interfaces provide services to passenger entertainment devices installed on the aircraft IFE systems. The airline information services domain interfaces provide services to the aircraft cockpit such as electronic flight bag, data load, etc. Discrete inputs include WOW, which provides air-to-ground status to determine if the byte maintenance of the ModMan should be in the air or ground mode. Transmit mute, which is an input that, when grounded temporarily, disables the JetWave SATCOM system RF transmissions. And ModMan reset, which, when grounded, provides a hard reset to the ModMan internal microprocessor, similar to resetting a computer. Discrete outputs, such as system available, are transmitted to other aircraft systems and/or an LED, which indicates that the entire system is powered, failure-free, initialized, and ready for access to the Inmarsat satellite and ground station network. Data link available is transmitted to the other aircraft systems and LEDs to indicate that the JetWave SATCOM system has made contact with Inmarsat ground station via the satellite and has been authorized by the ground station to begin data transmissions. The ACM module within the ModMan is a dual modem that negotiates with the satellite and provides internet to the end user. It is a dual modem which allows for seamless transition from narrow beam to narrow beam, which results in uninterrupted service. The aircraft personality module holds pre-programmed data and information about the particular aircraft in which a JetWave SATCOM system is installed. Once the JetWave LRU is installed on the aircraft and the system is basically functional, the APM is programmed via an AirLink 615A PDL data loader using the Ethernet cable connected to the ModMan's AV1 connection or another port assigned for data loading. The APM itself is permanently mounted in the aircraft in close proximity to the ModMan. Communications between the ModMan and the APM is by means of serial communication. The APM receives its electrical power from the ModMan. The APM allows the configuration data and information for the ModMan to remain with the aircraft. There are two RF-IF signals between the ModMan and the KRFU. First, the ModMan supplies a 950 to 1950 MHz data modulated IF transmit signal to the KRFU. The KRFU performs an up conversion of the IF signal from the ModMan to the final Ka band frequencies for the satellites. Second, the KRFU downconverts the Ka band of the received frequencies from the satellites to IF frequencies of 950 to 1950 MHz and sends them to the ModMan for signal processing in order to provide the aircraft systems with the received data. The ModMan transmits a 50 MHz subcarrier frequency signal to a reference recovery circuit that is also contained within the KRFU. The reference recovery circuit provides a 50 MHz reference signal to both the buck and the BDC circuits. Ethernet connections. These connections are between the ModMan and the CANDO. The ModMan provides status and control and byte commands to the CANDO. The CANDO provides the ModMan with operational and byte status information from itself as well as the KRFU and the antenna. The CANDO provides the following functions and interfaces. The JetWave SATCOM system requires aircraft position and altitude data for control and pointing of the antenna. This data is received by the CANDO from the aircraft's IRU or from an air data and inertial reference unit. The data is electrically received by the CANDO by means of AirLink 429 interface. The CANDO's internal power supply produces voltage necessary for the CANDO internal components. The CANDO power supply also provides external voltages of 38.5 volts and 24 volts to the antenna. The antenna motor components use 38.5 volts and the inertial measurement unit uses 24 volts. On all systems, the CANDO communicates with the MODMAN using an Ethernet interface. This interface is used for operational and byte commands as well as GPS location information from the MODMAN. The CANDO supplies operational status as well as byte data for the antenna and itself back to the MODMAN. The CANDO communicates with KRFU using RS-422 serial interfaces for operational status and byte data. CANDO also communicates with the TMA antenna using RS-422 for operational status and byte. CANDO communicates with the FMA using RS-422 for operational status and uses Ethernet for the byte. The CANDO contains an internal processor system that incorporates two major functions. The first section controls, services, and provides byte monitoring for itself, the TMA or FMA antenna, and the KRFU. It is also commanded by and responsive to the main processor of the MODMAN. The second section performs the detailed calculations necessary to properly point the antenna element to the selected satellite and continuously track it. The CANDO contains two internal field programmable gate arrays. The first gate array provides a communications network between the main processor of the MODMAN and the processor of the CANDO. The second provides the communications network between the CANDO processor and the TMA or FMA type of antenna. The KRFU provides the following functions and interfaces. The internal components and functions consist of the transmit buck converts 950 to 1950 MHz data modulated IF signal from the MODMAN to Ka band frequencies of 29 to 30 GHz and sends a low power drive signal to its internal HPA. The HPA then increases the low power output from the up converter to a maximum operational calibrated output power of 42.5 dBm or 17.8 watts. The receive down converts the 19.2 to 20.2 GHz Ka band signals from the antenna output signal to 950 to 1950 MHz, which is then sent to the receive input of the MODMAN for data processing. The MODMAN transmits a 50 MHz subcarrier frequency signal to a recovery circuit that is also contained in the KRFU. The reference recovery circuit provides the 50 MHz reference signal to both the upconvert and downconvert circuits. The monitor and control function of the KRFU transfers control status data to and from the MODMAN. The interface between the MODMAN and the KRFU is the CANDO. The thermal pad kit is intended to provide conduction interface between the bottom surface of the KRFU and the airplane cold plate or mounting panel. Before mounting units on the airplane, the thermal pad must be installed on the unit.